Hello, everyone. I'm Dwania Peele, and welcome to Origin Story. This is a space where we go beyond the bios and the highlight reels to uncover the real journeys of women entrepreneurs. The moments when an idea first sparked, the risks that followed, and the pivots that tested them, and the breakthroughs that changed everything. Every business you see today started with a decision, a moment when someone chose to believe in their vision enough to begin. On this series, I sit down with incredible women who are building businesses, creating impact, and redefining success on their own terms. Because every empire starts with an origin story, right? I would like to introduce our first guest, Alexia Kitoko of 123 Finance. Alexia, welcome.
Hi, Dwania. Hi, everyone. Nice to meet you. I'm so happy to be here today.
Oh my gosh, welcome, welcome. So, before Alexia takes us back, I want to remind you that you need to like this video because it's an easy and free way to support the channel. And you want to spread the word. You want to spread Alexia's story because we're not gatekeepers here. We like to share. So, let's share. All right, you did it? You did it. Yes, you did. Okay, now let's dive in, Alexia. Take us back. Think all the way back. Where did this idea of 123 Finance first start?
Wow, thank you so much for this question. It takes me back to something super personal with my own journey, where, I grew up in an African family, Congolese family back in France, in Paris, where, we don't talk about money. Money is taboo. Sometimes money is for evil people. Money don't grow up on tree. You have to work hard with money and all that. And then, thank God, I graduated with a master's degree finance back in 2015. So I was 25 years old. And then I bought my first property at 27 years old because my mom was always telling me, save money, you have to save money just in case something happens. So it was not coming from a building wealth mindset. It was more coming from a scarcity mindset where, we never know what can happen. But still, I did bought my property at the age of 27. But then even with the knowledge and the financial background, I did my first investment at the age of 31.
Wow.
Right? Yes, because it took me a long time to shift that mindset and to understand that even if I was Congolese and a Black woman, finance can still be for me. And then coming to Canada, since I graduated, I worked in banks all of my life in France, Luxembourg, and then Canada. And even coming here, because I had that financial background, I was like, okay, I'm going to do my investment and all that, working at a bank at RBC with all of those employee savings plan. And I met one of my friends and she told me, how do you know all those stuff to do your thing with the finance and all that? It's super scary. Can you explain? And then we did one meeting and I was like, okay, I'm going to try to explain everything. And she was like, wow, you actually created a safe place for me to learn and it feels less intimidating now. So I was like, wow, okay, maybe this is what I'm supposed to do. Stop helping rich people get even richer at banks, but really helping the people who look like me to understand more of their money and to empower them financially.
I love it and I love how you started, because your mother is telling you to save your money, like save for a rainy day. You never know what happened. And that is such a common statement in Black households. It's always save your money. They're not telling you to invest your money and find other ways to make your money grow because that's all they were taught. They were only taught to save. So it's really good that you are at that position where you can go, yes, I've learned to save. I've also learned to invest. And I've learned that's the way that we need to make our money grow. So I'm going to now start teaching people who was taught to save, which is not a bad thing, but what is better is to make it grow for you. So I love that. I love that. Yay. And cheers to your first property when you're in your 20s. Come on now. Come on now. People recognize. Huh. Okay, so now we know how you started, but is there anything that almost stopped you from really pushing forward with 123 Finance?
Um, I would say yes, on a day-to-day basis, I've worked in banks all of my life, and I said bye to like a career in banking, super prestigious, where family is looking at you. Oh my God! And also, I'm the eldest daughter of
Mm,
an African family, so it's like you have to lead the way. Yeah, we know what it means.
we know.
You have to lead the way, otherwise your little brothers and sisters they will do the same and all that. So I'm here working in finance, in banking, and that's amazing. And I'm also saying buy to a six-figure salary to basically be an entrepreneur. And I also grew up with my mom telling me that entrepreneurs, you don't have a salary, you don't have a job, so you're basically no one. You're an
Hmm.
entrepreneur. You don't have a salary. You can even buy your property, whatever, whatever. So I grew up like this, and at the beginning it was a side hustle. And even when it became a full-time entrepreneurship journey, I still didn't see tell my mom. I told her it's still, oh, I'm doing this on the side. Sometimes I'm going to speak at conferences aside. Yeah, because I was scared. And I feel like at some point I was also maybe ashamed because entrepreneurship is not easy every day. Sometimes you're here with your incomes or with your ideas, with your clients, everything. And sometimes I have this voice of my mom, or actually, it's a voice of internal voice. It's my voice telling me, "Your mom was right. Your mom was right. You're not gonna make it. You can't.
No.
Yeah, you're no one. You're not. They don't want to pay you for your work, and it's hard to battle with this. But at the end of the day, I wake up every single day changing people's life, and it's super, super rewarding. And I know that in the long term, this is what God wants me to do. I'm here empowering women, francophone entrepreneurs, immigrants to understand more about their money so that they can build a stronger community. Yeah.
I'm interested to know what your mom thinks now.
Oh my God. You know what? I recently was featured on CBC, the national TV here in Canada. So they did a radio article, press article, and a small TV documentary. And I just sent that to my mom earlier today, actually. And she said me, "Oh my God, that's so cool. Congratulations," and all that. And it's often like this. People, they don't really support your journey, what you do, until you get at a certain point, or we see you on TV, or you did that, or you booked that client. And it's even harder when it's coming from your parents, from your mom,
Hmm.
because my mom is everything for me. She did everything for me. But she grew up with trauma and all that. So I understand she did the best that she could with what she had.
Right.
So it's super hard when it's coming from your parents, but seeing her now super proud of myself, I'm like, yes, okay. And it's only the beginning, mom. It's only the beginning.
It is hard for the people in that generation to understand because, they know that you should save your money, go to school, get a traditional job. And because when they think of entrepreneurship, they think that's for people who have something to fall back on, like a cushion, like a rich parent. So they think pushing you in that 9 to 5 spot is making you successful. So, yeah, when you say you're going to step out on a limb, they are so nervous. I mean, we're nervous too,
Yes.
but they feel like your failure will be their failure. So, we can understand where they're coming from, but it even makes it that much sweeter when they're proud and when you
Yeah.
win, right?
Absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely. And it was always like that all of my life. When I was doing something my mom didn't really trust, I would hide it until, okay, I got something. So now I can tell her that it's working and it's fine, right? It was the same when I told her I'm going to move to Luxembourg. I just bought this apartment. I want to move to Luxembourg. What are you doing? You have a stable job. What are you doing this? I'm going to move to Canada. Why are you moving to Canada? What and then afterwards, it's like, oh, you're working for RBC in Canada, or this or that. So for me, it has always been about proving kind of way.
And you also move in silence. You plan your stuff, and then it's like,
Ooh.
boom, world, look at me now.
Yes, absolutely.
Huh. So then, at what point, like you're doing this, you feel everything is great, but at what point was that where you were like, okay, this is working. I can forget my 9 to 5 and jump into this full time.
Actually, it happened, I was working 9 to 5. And I got a new job right after RBC, because when I was at RBC, was like, I feel like I get bored. I don't know what to do. I wanted to launch the business, but in a bank, it's the rules are like this. You have to sign 1,000 documents if you want
Yep.
to launch a business, especially within the financial industry.
Yep.
So I was like, okay, I guess I'm not gonna do it. So I jumped into that new job and I told them at the interview, I'm gonna launch this business. This is what I want to do. They were like, okay, fine. We'll make you sign some documents. It was perfect. So I did that new job, and at the same time, I launched 123 Finance. So at the beginning, while doing this job, I was like, that's great. It's new. I'm meeting new people, learning new stuff. And then at the same time, I'm launching my business and I'm doing things which fulfill my purpose. Where I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to university, speaking to students. They're like, you changed my life. I want to learn more about financial literacy. And on the new job, after 1 month, it's not exciting anymore. And I'm like, God, what am I doing? If I quit, I'm not going to receive EI. I'm not going to have that money. My business is not growing yet because I'm pretty new. And I was like, wow, what should I do? And then I got laid off. Yes.
But it was a blessing.
It was a blessing in disguise, actually. Because God was like, you know what? You're ready. It's been months, your launch, it's been a year. You launched this, you're working on that. I think it's time. You'll have clients, you're doing your things, you love what you do, you're asking me if you want to quit. I'm gonna make this happen. So they let me off. Obviously, they gave me a financial package, so that was amazing. And for the times where the business is not, going really, really well, I have AI, and it's like, wow, I can basically grow my business with this money, and I don't have the pressure to pay my rent with this money, or I can grow my business in a healthy way. So for me, I was like, okay, God is doing this. Now I have no choice. All the day is for working on my business. So it was amazing.
Oh my gosh, that's really good, because you know what? This actually leads me to a segment that we have. It's just perfectly laid out. Just like how everything was perfectly laid out for you to get to 123 Finance, you are leading me right down the path. So this segment is called The First Yes. So there was one moment that changed everything. It could be the first person who believed enough to say yes. The First Yes is our signature segment here in Origin Story, where our guests revisit their first client, their first customer, investor, collaborator, or the first opportunity that validated their vision. It's about the breakthrough that shifts you from dreaming to doing, and the courage it took to step into that moment. So, Alexia, tell me about your first yes.
Wow. I love that segment because you know what? It's again my first yes came from my employer RBC. So it's a crazy story, you'll see, and I love telling about this. Actually, I don't talk about it a lot, but yeah, my first client, it was crazy. So I was working at RBC. I was working on this financial literacy program over there. It was not. It was from another department because there I was a financial planning consultant working on my stuff, but there was the financial literacy department. And
Mm.
the girl over there, she loved me. I worked on different projects with her. Also because I'm bilingual French English, I translated a few things for her. I loved working with her. That was amazing. And when I quit the company, we still stay connected on LinkedIn and all that. And she actually brought me my first client when I was out of the company. I was out of RBC. But because she knew I was a huge passionate about financial literacy and all that, someone came to her as RBC facilitator. Hey, do you want to facilitate a workshop for us in Hamilton? And she couldn't do it. So she thought about me right away. So she gave my name to those people. And funny enough, those people are two, they have a nonprofit. They're two Congolese, and I'm also Congolese. Um, but yeah, my first client didn't come from my website. It came from a former client at RBC. And I told her last time, I was like, Stephanie, thank you so much because you brought me my first client. Even before I launched, I was just talking about this project of doing financial literacy. I didn't officially launch. It's only after I officially launched.
Wow. So that is a full circle moment.
Absolutely. It
And
is.
this is why it's also good to make sure you don't burn bridges, because look at that. The impact you made at that first job
Yes.
is what got you your first client.
Mm.
That is so spectacular. Like that was a great, like, first yes, because
Ooh,
sometimes that one yes is all it takes to build the momentum you need, right?
absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
And it's
So
very true. After this first yes, it was just yes, 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 yes after. And I was like, wow, thank you.
bring it all in and give her more yeses, because we all need, especially in the times we're in right now, I think having a really solid financial plan or investment plan is really important, because we might need to prepare for the world to be on sale. So how do you prepare yourself for that so that you're ready to buy when it's on
Yeah.
sale, right? So I'm sure you talk a lot about those things.
Yes, absolutely. On a day-to-day basis.
Oh, I love it. I love it. So people see you now. You've had all those yeses and people are seeing you everywhere. We're seeing you on the CBC. What do people misunderstand about your journey when they see you as this person now?
Oh, wow. I think some people they don't really some people do not understand why I left, the banking industry, the corporations and all that, the stability to do, community work and helping people, empowering people. There's that. And there's also some people who do not understand all of the sacrifices, the work, um, all of the events with friends that I'm not going to, all of the nights I'm spending sometimes crying, finding a solution and be like, oh my God, is it really the right thing I'm doing? All of the doubts, people don't see it. That's why I always tell people, never compare you to someone because I'm not going and posting myself crying on LinkedIn. Some people are doing it, but me, I won't do it. This is not something you will do. I'm not like that. I love my privacy and all that. So
Yes.
never compare yourself because you don't know what people are getting through, right? Even the first time when I went through my first depression, um, it was this time where I was posting all of the time on Instagram that I was going to dance and to travel. So people were like, "No, you're fine. You're traveling. You're doing all of those things." But it was a coping mechanism for me. It was like a therapy. It was my therapy going to
Mm,
dance and traveling. But I was in depression and no one knows about that.
wow. You know, sharing that and just having this snippet of conversation is important because, it makes me think about why I do certain things. And sometimes when I'm traveling a lot, I feel like I'm running away from something, but I
Ooh.
can't ever put my finger on what it is. So this is a good thing for people to look at, where you might not see all of the challenges that we go through as an entrepreneur, but sometimes the things that you're seeing is a way to mask some of the challenges, and you have to
Ooh.
look into it and go, this person is not trying to brag or boast. There's probably something else that they're working on or working through, and this
Mm,
is their way of getting through it.
absolutely. Ooh, that was
Uh,
powerful.
no, you triggered that one. It was really That's a really good thought. And I also, when you started speaking, I'm like, yes, I don't usually like when people use LinkedIn to pull in those kinds of stories. But sometimes I can understand, but I'm also the type of person who I do not like reading the long captions on LinkedIn. You will catch me for 3 sentences and that's all you get. But, it's making me think of the actions that we have in order to cope.
Yes, yes, yes.
Huh.
Oof.
Oh, that was pretty good. So then I guess in that same vein though, how has being an entrepreneur stretched you personally? Because I know you've had to shift your mindset from that 9 to 5, from that security, because you
Ooh.
have to now be secure in the knowledge that you have to make sure that you're comfortable or more than comfortable to move forward. So how has it stretched you personally?
Wow. There's so many routes I could take with this question. Because honestly, entrepreneurship is building me in so much different ways. Like it's crazy. First of all, I think it's financially. I grew up working at a bank with your vacation time, and then every 2 weeks, or back in Europe, every month you get your paycheck, and then you organize your personal finances with this, right?
Mhm.
So even if I'm a financial literacy educator, I've never been in that situation where I don't have a paycheck coming every 2 weeks anymore. It happens lately because lately, my AI is now done. So I'm a full-time entrepreneurship. And that's it. So now I'm learning about, oh, okay. Every 2 weeks, I'm supposed to save that money, emergency fund, and to put it on Wealthsimple to invest. But now, I'm not sure I'm going to have money now. So how does it actually work?
Yeah.
So entrepreneurship is definitely stretching me in this way where I need to reorganize my personal finances. It's also stretching me in the letting go part. There's few months or years ago, I would have had those things happening to me. I would have cried and roll on the floor and cry and yell and everything. Now, sometimes things happen in my business. Oh, the website is not working anymore because of this. Oh, this guy did that. And I'm like, whatever. I have to let go. What can we do to move forward? Because I can't just stay here and cry and be like, someone is helping me. There's no colleagues to help me. I'm
Yeah.
the company now, you know.
Yes.
And I'm also coming from the banking industry, where in banks you have rules for everything, rules within rules, and you have a team for this, and then within the team you have another person dedicated to that specific stuff. So in banks, whenever you need something, you know where to go. Now I'm building all of those systems because I'm a solopreneur. So I need to work with freelancer, volunteers, students. And you have to also let go of the fact that whenever you work with someone, they will never care about your business as much as you do care about your business. And no
Yes.
one will. You have to accept that and let go of things. And at the
Hmm.
beginning for me it was super hard because I see people super excited to work for me and do this and do that. And then I see mistakes and the fact that you have to learn about delegating, but also accept that with delegating, you're going to win time, but maybe people are going to make mistakes, and that's fine. You
Hmm.
have to let go of all of that. So it's stretching me every single day, girl.
Every which way. And then you also have to learn to trust. That was
Ooh.
hard for me to trust people with my business, to trust people like, the simplest things like social media. That took me a couple of years and a few people in order for me to start just trusting people, because I started saying to myself, I can just delete it. Like, why am I stressing? It's like so simple. If I don't like what they posted, I can just delete it.
I love
It
it.
took me years to figure that one out.
Oh
But
my
yes,
God.
entrepreneurship stretches us.
Yes.
Now,
Ooh.
when you're looking at especially Black women, especially Black immigrant women, I feel like we don't recognize our own strengths. We don't really look at everything that other people might think of as hindrances and flip them into assets. Now, how would you define power as a woman entrepreneur? Like, how do you find that power? What does power look like to you?
Ooh. Interesting question. So for me, power is all about unapologetically being you and owning whatever is you, who you are. When things are good, when things are bad, your all of your traits, right? Your positive traits, your negative traits, and who you are is who you are. And the right client is going to be the right client for you, and maybe it might be the right client for another person, and maybe not for you. But as long as you have the power to acknowledge that, okay, maybe I'm loud, maybe I'm always smiling and laughing loud, and maybe some people don't like it. I'm talking personally here. My laugh. So I laugh and it's loud, and some people are looking, oh, why is she always laughing like this? Yeah, because I'm happy and I'm joyful, and this is who I am. And if you don't like it, that's okay. If you like it, that's okay too. I'm unapologetically myself, and I will always be myself. And by doing this, I only attract people, whether it's friends, romantic relationships, clients. I only attract people who align with who I am. So this is
Yes.
power for me as a black, and especially as a black woman. You know, we know what we say about black women sometimes. I'm gonna be me. One thing about me is I'm gonna be me.
Yes.
Deal with it.
We are not going to be muted.
Woo, absolutely not.
Okay, so I just have a couple more questions for you. The first one, what advice would you give to women who are stuck at the very beginning? Like they're trying to get their business started, they have this grand idea, and they're going, okay, what do I do?
Wow. There's so many over here because there's so many things you could do. I would say, don't stay by yourself. There's so many help. And Dwania, you're community wise and all that. So, me, I'm big on community.
Yes.
Do not stay by yourself. Whether it's finding a mentor, a coach, an entrepreneur cohort program for women, for black women, for immigrants, for francophone, whatever you are, there's everything for you. Whether it's in person, online, you can find something. Whether it's finding maybe an accountability buddy, you have another woman, she also has that amazing idea. You guys don't know where to start. Build a WhatsApp group, you exchange ID because she might know something you don't know, and you might know something she doesn't know, right? So the power of community. Join a WhatsApp group from a community from entrepreneurs, and then you'll see people sharing their journey and give you information, give you resources. There's a lot of things I talk about. By the way, there's one resource I use that from this last time I went to. I think it was the first time I attended one of your events, Dwania, and there were those booths with I don't know if I can talk about it, but it's Paro. Paro
Yeah.
was there where
Yes.
you can get a coach, a
Mhm.
business coach for a year. So if you're a woman, you have a business idea, you can get a coach for free for 12 months. And you can see that coach once a month. And whenever I tell that to people, they're like, no way, a coach for free. How come? And there's a lot of information like this. People are not aware. Also, sometimes because there's so much that it is overwhelming. But if you stay by yourself, you will never know about it. If you go to community events, then you learn about it. Community WhatsApp group and all that, you learn so many things. Don't stay by yourself, please.
That is the truth. Community is everything because then you also feel like you have people who are going through the same struggles as you. You can share your struggles, and you know what? You might have a solution for that person's struggle. That person will have a solution for yours. So finding the right communities to surround yourself with, it's very important. Yes, for sure.
Yes.
So now our final, I know we can talk forever, Alexia. We
Yes,
we can.
absolutely. Whew.
And this is a good conversation because a lot of people don't like to talk money. So this is a fun way to talk money. And I hope everyone's learned some things from this. And make sure you're connecting with Alexia. You know, you're going to find all her information in the description, but also running across the screen. So now, our signature final question, Alexia. Finish this sentence. My origin story taught me that.
Ooh. My origin story taught me that I will get where I want to go,
Ooh, I
for
will
sure.
get where I want to go.
And
That
that's for
is
sure.
true.
I know it's going to happen.
Okay. Well, y'all got it. She will get where she wants to go for sure. Remember that part. I have to say thank you, thank you, thank you so much, Alexia, for joining us. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on this episode of Origin Story. I really hope this conversation reminded you that every successful business begins with a decision, the courage to start, the resilience to keep going, and the belief that your vision matters. Now, if this episode resonated with you, be sure to like, subscribe, and share it with a woman who is building something powerful of her own. And if you're a woman entrepreneur with a story to tell, I would love to hear from you. You can fill out our intake form at the link in the description, and we might hear your story. So until next time, keep building, keep believing, and remember, every empire starts with an origin story. Bye for now.